Ndinoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa My hitters gon' die, don't die, the real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' rise Cause we're born to win, I ain't saying but I'm saying
Loyalty's my favorite characteristic of God, but finding it in it is hard. It's like trying to find God. You're the only one in your camp with cheese. You pay for everything they eat. Man, that insecurity is deep. Now I ain't said no names. These are just theories. If you hear me, baby, it's home. You must admit it's kinda eerie, baby. Like them chemtrails in the sky. Ain't the selling the slaves, kinda like the combines. We say everything in moderation, but don't do it in moderation. The lies of a gluttonous generation. 10-year-old girl in.
So really pay attention here. You got to be able to pick up your tickets at will call with your photo ID. Any resales will be dismantled. So you won't be able to resell these tickets, y'all, and try to get that top dollar price. These are specific to the lottery entrant. So please check this out. And I know my sister's been talking about it since we knew it was coming to Seattle. I can't wait to see this show. I'm one of those people that's never seen it. So I know I'm in for a treat. Definitely looking forward to it. And shout out to STG Presents because people understand this show is in high demand. So I love that they have this lottery open for those who may not be able to afford that high ticket price. Again, you guys make sure you download that app and get your tickets today. Now, joining me on this set right now, he is a friend of the Art of the Matter with my good sis T-Dub. Mr. Moses' son is in the building right now. He is an artist and a curator. He's been doing phenomenal work in the community. So he's coming up next. You got it, DQ. Almost there. Okay, there it is. All right. So Moses, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
happy to be here. It's just an unexpected treat. So thank you for welcoming me to your home, your
Yes.
media establishment. I'm just happy to be here and be talking with the community. So
Absolutely. And it looks like it's also Fatigue Friday, my friend. You brought your
yeah,
fatigue. I got mine's on
yeah, we're
down below.
twinning. We're definitely twinning.
Well, your episode on Art of the Matter was really inspirational. And, the fact that we get to see T Dub and her relationships in the artist world take shape on the show is so phenomenal. Just tell us a bit about your experience. Just kind of share, your
Thank you.
story out there with the people.
Um, well, when we did Art of the Matter, that was right around the time I was working on some other pieces and some installations and just a lot of different things. But talking with T, because I've known her for a while now, it just allowed me to be really vulnerable. And the conversation that we had really covers a lot of, you know, where I come from. I'm originally from North Carolina. I've lived in different parts of the world. Um, Came here through a job I was recruited from when I was living in Helsinki, Finland. And I was doing the corporate thing for a long time, corporate creative, trying to do my art. Um, I was more like a passive artist versus what I am now, which I consider like an active in practice artist. And, I really thought that like the job was the most important thing, the prestige of whatever the title was and the money. And I, I had to learn the hard way that just wasn't true for me. And I had to go through some things in order to clear out that forest, to clear out all the brush, to kind of metaphorically, everything kind of burned down. And then what ashes were left was like the pure essence of what I needed to do. And just so I just slowly started picking myself back up with the help of friends and family and daily conversations. Because after I become ill, and for like basically 2 years, I just stayed at home and worked on my art every day. I mean, it was part of the art and healing recovery. I didn't while I had been hospitalized for 3 weeks. It took me away from my family. It took me away from everything that I loved, and I had to get through that. And I was worse off when I came out. And so it was just really about like, did I need to do to take better care of myself? Because at that time I was left about 5% for myself and 95% for everybody. And it took me literally 2 years to figure out, oh, I need 95%. So I can focus that 5% on the people that really matter, the people that really care, that, instead of just giving and giving and giving. And at that time, I didn't realize like,
Wow.
all the energy I was putting out. And I really credit, T Dub for just putting me on. She's been my rock. She's been my sister. My life totally changed summer of 2020, June 11th, when we were out there painting the Black Lives Matter mural. I mean, that alone was just amazing because I came together in 48 hours and with just the plan to just paint. And that miracle really brought me back out into the world and started, even though COVID was full force, I started engaging with the public again in a way that I think I dreamed of, but I just didn't know how to. But it was just one thing led to another, to another, to another. And I just kept saying yes. And a good friend of mine, Kodavai, was just like, the universe is saying yes. So just accept it.
Yeah.
She reminds me that of every time when I'm like, oh, this happened or this is going on. And she's like, well, the universe is saying yes. And so just keep with that. And so I really, those 2 years I was just making art, I really started focusing on my ancestors, my elders, and just the people who are farthest away but closest to my heart. And I've just been very fortunate to have those people in my corner.
Yeah, there's something so anchoring. I think, I spend quite a bit of time with elders, and, the wisdom and the knowledge that is passed down. And also, too, I think the perspective that they
Mhm.
bring to the work we're doing now is so
Yes.
key to me understanding the grander importance of
Yes.
my own existence and what it is I'm doing. Right.
Mhm.
And so one of the elders, told me, look, we all have lanes. And when you're in your lane and you play that lane, you pave that lane, you stay in that lane, you're diligent and dedicated to that lane, you're doing what you're supposed to do, right?
Mhm.
Because there's ways that these lanes interweave with each other that make our society better, that make our communities better.
Yes.
And that right there is what I really appreciate about what you're sharing, because, it takes us having that solid foundation to grow from, to build ourselves out of. So I'm so glad to hear that, you really were able to take that time and heal, right? And then create that important balance for yourself, because for many of us who are givers, right, we have to find a way to give back to ourselves. And clearly, your personal perspective has infused your approach to your art in such a unique way. And so how do you take those
Thank you.
experiences into the pieces that you create for the rest of the world to see?
Well, first I approach with my approach to life in general is a very open mindset. I grew up in the South. I grew up in a very big extended family where love was unconditional in all ways. I always felt, I felt different because I was like the arty one, or kind of the weirdo, with my journals and focused on just art. And but my family has always supported and loved me, even though I felt like an outsider. I was totally inside the whole time. They just let me be. And my father and my mother, they were both in education. My dad was a counselor at the local community college for 33 years. My mom was a teacher for about almost 30 years. And both of them did work in communities that they cared about. And so I always had that as an example. And that being the foundation of what I do now, I was also introduced to several different cultures, all different cultures. Living in North Carolina in the South, you wouldn't think that I grew up with a diverse, but I did, because my dad was at the community college. So he met all sorts of folks, ex-military, military dropouts, uh, you know, uh, um, formerly convicted people, trying to start over. Um, the wives and husbands of people in the military, people who dropped out of high school, like all sorts. And he was just always like there. And I couldn't go anywhere in town without someone recognizing me, because they'd be like, oh, that's Ben's son. You look just like him. I'm like, oh man, I wish I had inherited his height. But my both my sister and I are like the shortest people in the family. But thank mom, she brought us in this world.
Yeah.
But that's just a little joke I say, because he was just such a mountain of a man. And actually recently, while I was at the EXO show, co-curating, it was Sunday, I ran into this guy John that I've known for a number of years here. I just see him off and on. He's in technology and art. And he approached me and said, "Hey, I work with someone that you grew up with, that grew up right across the street from you." And I was like, "Say what?" And he told me, and he was like, "It's Jonathan Rahm." And I was like, "Oh my God, I remember meeting him when he was a toddler." And he goes, "Yeah, he was just going on about your dad and how he was just like helped him and influenced him and did all these things." And I was just like, wow, it blew me away, because that never happened. Like I run into people from different parts of my life all the time. But at that very moment, as I'm co-curating and specifically curating for the Vivid Matter Collective, our very first group show together within a larger group show, it was like my dad was saying hello.
Wow.
It was just beyond magic. It was just I was like vibrating. And then I called Jonathan, and then we talked for a couple of hours, and it was just like, whoa, like,
those connections are everything. And, you know, honestly, shout out to Vivid Matter Collective and all of the artists involved, because you guys are doing some phenomenal things. It looks like today there's a huge summer art party. Tell us more about all of this. We got a couple flyers we'll put up while you share with us what people can expect at this summer art party.
Oh, this summer art party is it's going to be phenomenal. There's, I don't know how many artists works at this point, maybe over 100 artists featured. There's a huge space. It's the 7th and 8th floor. There's a deck. There's 2 different decks that also have installations. What's really cool about the deck also is that there's a huge garden. So there's actually like a honeybee hive there, which I just was like, oh my God, you know, these are the things I geek out about. But the show itself is a love letter to Seattle and just to the Northwest in general as for artists. And, you know, Austin and Julianne asked if I'd be a co-creator, and then things kind of happened. They're like, oh, well, Barry is going to be in it, and Afro. I said, well, why don't I just do a VMC Plaza? And they were like, oh. And literally like 3 weeks prior, we were on a group call, and I was like, hey, y'all, we need to do a group show. And then it just went like
bombs dropping.
Yeah, just like, okay, let's go.
Well, that's the great thing about it too. Vivid Matter Collective, you guys have all y'all are acting artists. I mean, like active right now, every day, doing art, creating pieces, having shows. So you guys are being like, yeah, why not? It makes total sense.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going down today, right there on Occidental from 12 to 9. So it's all day. People can drop in and come and check out what you have co-curated. Moses, I wish I had more time, because I could talk to you for hours, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
I just thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this amazing experience with us. If folks want to connect with you and stay connected to your art, how do they do so? Look right there and let them know.
Best place is Instagram, Moses_Sun. That's SUN. You can also go to my website, which is mosessun.studio. That's another place to contact me. Those are the 2 main places. I'm getting more into the Twitter spaces and other spaces also, but those have been the main means. I just like to say thank you. And I hope everyone comes out today and this evening, because it's gonna roll out to later in the evening too, from what I understand. So it's gonna be a fantastic art experience.
Amazing. Moses Sun in the building on the day with Trae. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I just like to say VMC, we outside.
Yeah, we outside. Oh my goodness. Already a great start to today, this fantastic Friday. It's going to continue because it's time for Fine Gang Friday. Join us as we hear about a couple fitness tips from our coach, Pasqualina. She'll be in the building in just a second. You guys make sure you stay tuned to this show right here. After the break, we're coming up with Miss Pasqualina. You guys are watching The Day with Trae.
In the depths of Belize, the travelers come across the waters, harvesting with their hands, learning of resilience rooted deep in the lands. Culture thriving like a fire ablaze, sizzling with a pop and a chop, sharing its ways. Knowledge simmers and grinds into the hearts and minds, cutting away from the surface stories and colonial lies, boiling it down, breaking its shell as the truth pours out and gets plated collectively with love. Spooned into bowls, feeding the soul. Garifuna, alive and strong at Palmetto Grove.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday, And joining me right now is Coach Pasqualina. What's up?
What's up?
Another Fine Games Friday. You're looking mighty fine as
Thank
always.
you. So are you?
Absolutely. Well, so glad you could be here with us today. Tell us a bit about what folks can expect, because I know you got a lot of fitness tips, and already you working me out, and I'm feeling it, and I thank you so much for it.
Absolutely. Definitely want to check in with you. But today we're just going to talk about a few things that we can do to help us remain consistent, right? For me, my top 3 things for people that ask, okay, how can I get in fitness? How can I be, what I want to be? And it's nutrition, consistency, and your community, right? The things that your systems, I'll say that, your systems. I got a question right before I got here. How do you stay so motivated to work out? And you'll hear in the fitness community as well that sometimes motivation does not matter, right? There are going to be days that you don't feel like it, right? So what do you do to combat those days? And it's going to be your systems, right? I would hope nobody misses a day to brush their teeth. And that's typically because it's ingrained in you, but from systems, right? Of putting your toothbrush and your toothpaste somewhere in the bathroom, after you do your morning potty, that's your next thing on the steps. So same thing with fitness, setting yourself up to be ready. So if you go to work, set your clothes out before you leave. So, when you get home, that's the first thing you're going to put your clothes on and you're going to step out of the door. If you need a buddy system for your accountability, making sure that you build that community of someone who wants the same things that you want, right? We both want to go to the gym. Okay, what time works for you? That works for me. Let's go. But not holding up on that, right? Because if your friend can't go, you don't want to then not go every time they can't go, right? So creating a reliable system that works for you. And then, of course, nutrition. You can never steer away from nutrition. I was cracking up watching the replay last week because you asked me, why is nutrition important? Went on a little rant. But one thing I want to say is we drive cars, right? If your car takes 92, there is no way you're putting diesel or 87 in it, or it's not going to function the way that it should. So your body is a vehicle. You can shine it, take it to the car wash, do all the things. But if you're not putting the proper gas in it, it's not going to run like it should. So nutrition is the same for our bodies. If you're not fueling it with the proper fuel that it takes, then it's not going to work like it should, no matter what you dress on it, no matter how well you think you're keeping it, right? So I think those are 2 great things to keep with you and keep you encouraged while you go on your journey of fitness.
Well, I'll say that I'm already benefiting from the accountability system, right? Because we made some adjustments, right? Where it's like, okay, if we can't be in person, how else can I be sure that I'm getting what I need? And you're still, as a coach, really helping to guide me in that.
Yes.
So I really appreciate making the transition to be like, no, I'm going to send you the workouts. You send me a check mark when you're done. And there's something so fantastic about me being able to be like, you know what? I did that.
Yep.
Or let me report back out like, hey, this past weekend I was at Neo Soul Fest. Honey, I was dancing the whole day.
Yeah.
I was on my feet the whole day. I'm like, oh no, all this movement, all that, it all counts, right? Because we were talking about that. You also think about when you're out doing things that you do regularly and you're like, wait a minute, if I just kick my legs up a little bit more, if I just have a little bit more intentionality in this movement of my body, I'm actually activating some other muscles that's going to be helpful to me. So I really appreciate that. And I owe her a workout, y'all. Don't worry.
Hold her accountable.
It's coming. It's coming. She will get that check mark today by the end of day. But I got to say, I just appreciate it because honestly, for me, that was one of the biggest drawbacks was accountability. I can have a gym membership. I can be like, it's on my calendar every day. One thing for me is I love the visual. So I have an actual calendar in my bedroom, right?
Nice.
And one of the things that I really love is being able to look at that calendar and see that I went to the gym. Like it starts filling up the calendar. And there's something that is so rewarding in that for me.
Yep.
And so even my son the other day was like, man, mom, okay, he was like, wow, my 8-year-old was like, wow, you was writing all over the calendar. I'm like, because now I get to have that additional visual. So I really appreciate these tips. And of course, nutrition is key. I know that I'm on the go a lot. So I'm trying to figure it out when I'm on the go, finding my my vegan options and,
Yep.
staying in my lane there because I know that it's better for my body. I can feel the difference.
Yep.
So there's something so phenomenal of what you said there about fueling it with the proper fuel. But you also came with a treat for the guests today.
I did. For those of you watching today, I have a code for 15% off of my website, www.finegang.com. And that code is Day with Trae. Day, D-A-Y, just a W, and then Trae. So make sure you take full advantage of that. Get your gear and get yourself fully equipped to get in your fitness bag, right?
Well, you are so phenomenal. Thank you so much for that. Because,
Absolutely.
I'll say this. I actually saw someone out in the community wearing Fine Gang. And I was like,
let me tell you,
that's
that's
everything.
why I do this. And that's what sets my soul on fire. And that is why we are a community, because I don't even have to be in the midst, but someone sees someone else wearing it. And it's like, you're Fine Gang. And it's like, yeah, instantly family, instantly community. I'll get a picture. Look, we ran into each other. And it's like, that's what it's about. Starting those conversations, getting to know each other just off of that, right? We don't have to talk about the weather anymore. It's like, look what you got on. What are you into? What's your name? And so I love that. That is what it's all about.
Oh my gosh.
So
Coach
much.
Pasqualina in the building. Thank you for bringing us some fitness tips today
Yes.
on this Fine Gang Friday. And thank you for that extra discount. Okay.
Yes.
You said Day W Trae.
Yes.
Make sure people are doing it. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you in the next round.
You will.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, I'm telling you, you guys are going to want to check out Coach Pasqualina's website. Make sure you utilize that discount code. It's a beautiful thing to have business owners right here on the set of The Day with Trae, which allows y'all to receive those discounts. Right after this short break, I'll be doing a quick recap and getting y'all ready and set for the weekend. Stay tuned, y'all. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Hey there, it's Trae Holiday. And of course, Besa and I had to take a trip back to Market Street Shoes to grab some items. They always know what to show us. And let me tell you, we both spent quality time to be sure we collected some amazing additions to our wardrobes. They have some of the most unique bags, shoes, and accessories. I mean, the whole shebang. It's always a good time when I get to shop with my girl Besa. Make sure you go check out Market Street Shoes, y'all, and you too can walk out with some dope gear.
All right. Are we back? No, yeah, okay. I couldn't tell. There's something going on with the monitor, so I'm just making sure we're good. Welcome back, everybody, to The Day with Trae. Y'all saw it right there. Of course, this weekend, we cannot forget about Weird at Night coming up tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Our good friends over there at Weird at Night are keeping it weird, and I just got to say, there's going to be a special something in the mix in the coming weeks. Y'all wait for it. Also, we got Truly Unruly on Sunday at 8 p.m. Make sure you guys check in with the True Fonts as they share their true love story. Always something great for you right here on Converge Media. We keep our weekends lit as well. So be tuning into our shows, y'all. And as I said at the top of the show, if you can't watch them, listen to them anywhere you find your favorite podcast. I will say there's something real spectacular about watching, Weird at Night, because the visuals are so ethereal. Like, they are weird and it is amazing. And they are such a phenomenal crew. And of course, the True Fonts are always keeping it real with their love story. And every week they come through for us. We appreciate y'all for doing that. Well, of course, I also appreciate you guys. I appreciate the guests today. I want y'all to always be inspired. Clearly, Moses' son saw fit to step out of the corporate arena, bring his artistic talent to his independent, vibrant way, and then connecting with all these amazing artists with the Vivid Matter Collective. He is seeing himself as a part of the solution. And Coach Pasqualina, she is like trained, y'all, okay? As a personal trainer, fitness coach, she does it all, but she also has the Fine Gang clothing brand. So make sure y'all tap into her website. Use Trae as your discount code for 15% off today. What a phenomenal treat for all y'all out there. Get some Fine Gang gear. They even got socks, okay? They even got, just get a pair of socks and y'all will be already on the Fine Gang train. Well, thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in this week. It's been a beautiful week, and I just want to thank all of the guests throughout this week. I really have walked away with that inspiration that I'm encouraging you guys to feel every single day. So, of course, until Monday, y'all, be well and peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.